Is it on? Do I come on now? Oh, okay. We made it. If it's your first time, let me know. I appreciate the support, and we're just kind of trying this out. I'm gonna give you my 3 top tips to being a better photographer, things that you can do right now that are not that hard. If that sounds interesting, let's get started. Alright, so first tip is gonna be do your research. There's so much content out there on Instagram and on YouTube and on Twitter and portfolios all across the internet. Find someone in a group of people that inspires you and make something that they made, because what their ideas do for you may spark you to a whole other idea that's yours. You'll get so many things out of doing that. You'll realize that, like, oh, I didn't even think of that idea, and you can make it your own, because copying someone else at first is how a lot of these people start. That's how I started. Like, the whole industry is someone taking someone else's stuff and then making something new out of it so that they have their own. If you stay on someone else's stuff, then obviously that's kind of a problem. But if you use that to inspire yourself, there is no one telling you that you can't do that. Before every shoot that I go to, I'll always take a list of inspiration, make an inspiration board out of it, and bring those to the shoot and be like, here's some ideas I have, and also do what the client obviously wants you to do and ask them what their ideas are. Go and do the work ahead of time. You'll be more satisfied with the after effect. Tip number 2 is professionality. I mean, that's a broad topic for everyone. But what I mean when I say professionality is do the small things, the things that you don't think matter. So for example, for me, creating a contract. Yeah, it took me an hour, 2 hours almost. But in the end, when I go to shoots, people are like, oh, it was like so professional. Yeah, we have a whole contract, all this stuff. But then when I started it, I started making those small changes, and that exponentially increases the amount of clients you'll get. Same with your website. Take some time, make your website. But even if you just have a Photoshop membership, get portfolio. Use that as your website. And even if you do it just for fun, I mean, you can still be professional about it. When people ask you for photos, make a Google Photos album, or just tell them that, like, oh, here it is, label it, edit them. People will be like coming to you. Next time they're wondering who they want for their photos, they're gonna come to you. Tip number 3, get outside your comfort zone. So much of today, whether it be in creative stuff or in real life, is inside a box. People box themselves in. They're like, I can't do this because it doesn't fit in these parameters, or I can't try this because I don't know what people will think of it, or I can't try this because it's different. Me making this video is different. I usually would not make a video, but I figured I had the idea. I get inspired by videos like this, so if this helps you guys out, then I want to do that. But yeah, just if you have an idea for a photo or whatever it is, and you're like, well, I can't exactly do that. Like, oh, this photo is going to be hard. Just do it anyway. If it turns out bad, find out in post. And when you're editing, you're like, oh, that didn't turn out. Or try to redeem it. For example, this photo right here. This photo was taken a couple weeks ago of a friend of mine, and we were just kind of chilling, walking around just behind the parking lot of Goodwill. We went and took this photo. That photo wasn't super planned out or anything like that. It was kind of just an idea that it ended up turning out, and we made it work. Never cap yourself a certain amount of like barriers. For me, my Instagram at first, if you scroll back, it may be a little lighter, but then it kind of fades to a little darker. That was kind of on accident. I started doing lighter portraits, but then I just realized that, oh, that's like not actually what I enjoy doing. So I started doing my own thing. Your clients, if you're doing this professionally, or your followers, they're gonna build from what you enjoy doing. They'll come to you. You shouldn't advertise to a certain people group. Make sure you're being you. Don't be in someone else's box. That's all I got. Those are my top 3 tips for you to be a better photographer. Nothing too practical, but just good things to get in your brain that if I would have known when I first started, it would have boosted me 200%. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know. I want to make these videos for you. If it's going to be helpful to you, hope you guys have a great rest of your day.